Hey, Raindrops. On today's episode, Reality with the King. Listen, I love every time I tape an episode on my podcast, but I have to say, I want to call Fridays my fun day or Fry-yay because I get to be with Alexis Bellino as we recap another episode of The Real
TGIF,
Housewives of Orange County. No, I
TGIF,
feel like
baby.
it's actually TGIAB. Thank God it's Alexis Bellino.
Oh, wow, that was fast. Okay, I have a confession. I have to own something right now. I just had hyaluronic acid put in my microneedled in my face. As we know, there's a wedding coming up. So I do look different today. I have bruises I couldn't cover up. I'm puffier. So just everybody, please be kind. It's what we must do, self-care.
You look amazing to
No, you see my
me.
bruises? No, I've tried to cover it
I
up the best I
don't.
could. I did not have Glam Squad today. This was Alexis Squad. And I tried to just, I tried to depuff. I tried to heal the bruises fast enough. Arnica didn't work. It's okay.
No, listen. I love that you said I have no glam. It's Alexis glam. Alexis glam is Bob. You look amazed. So listen, if you didn't say anything, I would not have known anything was going on with your face. But look,
Oh, I see it.
so I need to do something like that because I use you know, topicals.
Okay. Are those the
Under the
eye
bags.
patches?
Yes,
Oh, honey,
yes.
I did that. I did that at 6 o'clock, getting ready, 6 a.m., getting ready for this. Okay.
I love
I'm
it.
eye patching at 6 a.m. to see Carlos King at 8 a.m. It's our 8 a.m. date. It's like, and today I brought my Diet Coke, Carlos, and my
Oh,
water.
so
So we might have a
oh,
little more fun today, Carlos.
let's get right into it. So Tamra just decided to plan a trip. She invited all the girls. She first started to inform the girls. She invited Shannon. Shannon, look, I watch every episode. I see everything and I see all the nuances. I was shocked that Shannon all of a sudden decided that she just doesn't want to go on a trip. She doesn't trust Tamra. It's too soon for her to be around her. And I thought to myself, I'm confused because last year when Tamra said all those things to her, and I even told Tamra personally, look, you're being a little too harsh on her. That's my opinion. Hey,
Hmm.
Tamra. And listen, Tamra, obviously, I will say this, Raindrops. Tamra knows more about the Shannon dynamic than we all do because they were best friends who spoke on the phone 5 times plus more a day for almost a decade, if not longer than that. So she knows more than we do. I'm not excusing her behavior, but what I'm saying is she knows more than what we do. What I was confused about, though, was Shannon's apprehension to not wanting to go on the trip because there was nothing this season that indicated that there was reservation there. And I felt like Shannon, this is my opinion, and you guys can disagree with me. I think Shannon just wants Tamara off the show. And she feels like if I don't film with her and if I can ice her out, maybe the other girls can join in on me. And that's that. That's what I got from it because it made no sense to me. But Alexis, what do you think about that entire
Well,
situation?
here's the deal. Shannon now thinks she can ice people out and they won't be hired back because that's what happened to me last season. So, okay, touche. She might think she can do it, but guess what? Guess what, honey? Holding grudges equals getting fired. So watch your back, Shannon, because if you're going to be like that and keep holding grudges, you might be the next one out the door, Shannon Bedore. And there's the door that way. Okay. Just like I said last year, and I did not practice it. And I didn't even know you were going to go here right now. So there you go. Okay. That's the first set of tea we're going to get today. The second thing is the one thing Tamara has told me. Okay. Oh gosh, I hope that Tamara does not. If I lose my friendship, she's one of my closest friends. If I lose her now after this, but I have to say this because it's just what you just said, just it's like right here. So Tamara told me back before, and my dogs are wrestling right now. So I'm sorry, you're getting reality with Alexis Bellino right now. Boys, knock it off. Okay. They
I
don't
love
understand
this.
that mom's working right now. Okay. So anyway, Tamara told me, which really resonated with me and made me feel so horrible last season, or season 18, I should say, when I was filming with Tamara. She's like, you know what hurts me the most, Alexis? And Tamara and I've cried a lot together because last season 18 was hard for both Tamara and I. We both got the ringer. We both got a lot of our story not shown. We both, it stunk. Okay. Anyway, so we had a lot of tears. So she said, what stunk the most about my relationship with Shannon is I was there for her for 10 years. Do you know that Shannon never once called me? Like when Tamra said and seen this episode, when she goes, you are a lot to handle, or you are whatever that one line was when they were at the restaurant. I forget it now. Anyways, I was like, wow, that is exactly Shannon's a lot, because guess what? Shannon never asked Tamra one time about what was going on in Tamra's world. How are you, Tamra? What can I do for you, Tamra? What do you need, Tamra? It was always Shannon calling and giving Tamra all of this headache. And Tamra tried her best to be a good friend for 10 years. Then it got too much. So it's like, I don't like it when, once again, Shannon's playing the victim role, and okay, it works. I mean, it seems to work for her. So
I'm over it. I'm over it. And the reason why I'm over it is because, look, I don't know Shannon personally. I for the longest time, I love Shannon being on the show because she was going through something so relatable, when she was going through her divorce with David and experiencing being, cheated on, and then having to like be a single mom and raising the daughters. Like all of that was relatable. And I always thought she had these quirky moments, right? I think Shannon has become predictable and safe. I don't believe in yelling at anybody in production when it comes to the people working on the show. I'm not here to name names, but
thank
I know
you.
things too. I listen. You can have a moment, but to berate somebody is to me uncalled for. And I think she's becoming a one-trick pony. I told
I call it
Tamra, go
Carlos, I
ahead.
call it a shtick. I feel like she's got a shtick. I don't even know if that's a word, like schleppen. Shtick is what Alexis is gonna say,
Yeah.
because I feel like it's like yeah, like it's like, okay, we get that you are always disheveled. We get that you always are tripping and falling. We get it. But it's like she doesn't have a storyline. So I think that's her storyline. I think she keeps doing these things thinking she's making America laugh, and they did for 10 years, but it's like, where's she doesn't have, she has Archie and her daughters. That's all she has going on right now. So it's kind of like, okay, we got to get her a hobby. We've got to get her happy again. She's still bitter and angry and like looks mad. And I just want her to like give Tamara a chance. Like, why is it okay for Shannon to get 10 or 12 chances? Gina forgave Shannon after my kids are going to be the CP, whatever that whole thing was. The kids are getting it taken away. Gina forgave and moved on. Why can't Shannon just say, okay, let's just move on, everybody? Like, let's go. Let's be friends.
I'm going to tell you why. I've always said, and you corroborated this too, that when it comes to the Housewives show, for some of them, not all of them, but for some, there is this sense of an alliance. And for me, when Tamara got fired, Shannon stopped talking to her.
Yes,
Tamara said that on my podcast
it's
while
true.
she was fired.
It's true. I've been here, so I know.
If that's your real friend and you guys have a real friendship, show or no show, we're going to be friends. You're getting married soon. Your wedding guests include Tamara and Heather, amongst a lot of people. They're not on the show with you this season. However, you're still friends with them. And you had a very tough season last season. And you had moments between yourself, Heather, and Tamara that you three had to work through. And I'm happy y'all worked through it, right? That's what real friends do. I've said this before. When a housewife gets removed from the show, that's when you realize who is your real friend. Shannon doesn't see a need for Tamara anymore. And look, I understand that Tamara was very disrespectful to Shannon last season with the constant drunk comment. I 1000% thought that was not right. And I told Tamara herself, and Tamara apologized for it. Yeah, no, me and Tamara are fine. I told Tamara, I said, Tamara, that's not nice. She gave her reasons, but my point is she did apologize for it. What I find so fascinating is the way Shannon yelled at Katie this season. We discovered a few days ago, Alexis Bellino, that Shannon still follows Katie on Instagram. So should Katie forgive you? Because my thing is, Shannon, are you still following Katie because you don't want the backlash from social media who are coming after you ladies?
Good. Didn't think about that. Wow.
Yeah. So where does the line draw? Draw. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you feel like Tamra was so bad to you, okay, fine. However, you weren't the best friend to her when she was off the show. When she got back on the show, you and the girls felt like, oh shit, we gotta like be nice because y'all talk shit about her when she wasn't on the show, and you guys thought this season would be better. And unfortunately, it was the worst season in the history of the show. Now that Tamra's back, you don't like it. That's what I got from it. And let's just skip to the end because we can go back to the other shit. because we're going someplace with this.
Hey, it's our show, Carlos. We don't have to follow any like order of anything, right? Like we don't have a script. Like some people get scripts when they do podcasts. We don't have a script. We don't even talk the week before. We just show up. So you go to the end, and then we'll go back to the beginning.
And that's why I love you so much, Friday. Okay, so look, even at the dinner, you know, Tamra and Jen are trying to find a resolution. And look, I was shocked, and I didn't know this, and I want to get your thoughts on this. When Jennifer and Tamra were talking about this fatty photo, and Tamra never said the word fatty, but she did say, look, it's not the best photo of you. Jennifer's like, what's the issue? Why are you so mad at me? And Tamra revealed something that I didn't know. She said that when she was at Jen's house, they were in Cabo, that Ryan told Tamra, I'm in love with Jen. Tamra said, but she's still married. And Ryan said she's leaving her husband. Tamra said she and Eddie felt dirty because they were at they were at this woman's house. Presumably, I don't know if the husband was there or do you know what I mean? So I thought that was shocking as a revelation. What did you think about that?
Yeah, that's a lot because here's the thing. And then Jen proceeded to say, oh, but Tamara or somebody in an interview or something, you cheated on Eddie
Yes,
or
Shannon
on
said that.
Simon with Eddie. And here's the thing. I know Tamara very well, and it was not a cheating. Were they fully divorced? I don't think so at that point, but it was not cheating. Okay. I don't know what happened with Jen and Ryan, but it does open your eyes to where if Tamara's like, I don't feel good about the fact that I know this information because Will's a good guy and you have a good marriage, and why are you doing this with Ryan? I mean, if that's going on in Tamara's mind, which is kind of where I feel what that scene, when she said, well, you were cheating on your husband. However, do we really know, Carlos? Jen hasn't admitted it, number one. Number two, Ryan and her have been together a lot of years now, and Will and Jen obviously were not good for each other. So I don't know. It's like I don't just listen to face value of everything I hear. That's what I have learned in my 48 years of life. So I just don't know if. Do you think the cheating's true?
I think this, and listen, I've never been married, but I've also been around tons of people, whether it's professional or personal, who have been technically married, but they're either separated or someone filed for divorce or they're going through a divorce, right?
Well, me, right here.
Yeah,
I'm one of
divorce
them.
takes.
I was separated, and we both started dating before we signed the black ink on the contract that we are officially divorced. So, when you're in a loveless marriage, it's like I probably didn't sleep with my ex for like 3 years, okay? Like we were loveless, okay? So by the time we
Mm,
finally got divorced, it's like okay, like it's like now or like separated, we both knew we were divorcing, we were nesting, we weren't staying in the same home anymore together. I'm not going to sit there and tell him he's cheating or I'm cheating if I go on a date because we know that the contract's coming at some point, the divorce decree that we're going to sign, right?
right.
So I think it's to each their own, and there are very many people that do believe it's still cheating until that black ink is on the paper. So I think everybody has to handle divorce on the way that they would. It's not easy. It stinks. No one goes into a marriage thinking you're going to get divorced. Mine's around the corner right now, and I'm scared because I'm like, I don't ever want to get divorced again. But it's like you can't live life in fear, you know. This
Yeah,
I don't
you
know. I don't
can't.
believe. I don't know if Jen. I don't know if she cheated. I don't know. and I don't really care. Ryan's together now, so great guy, took her kids in, you know?
I agree with you. Listen. I give Jen the benefit of the doubt because of what you just said. You don't have to even be separated officially, but you can be in a loveless marriage. So what I will give Jennifer is the fact that, look, yes, yes, she was technically married. However, what the world doesn't know is what their marriage was like at the time where Ryan fell in love with Jen. And I think at the end of the day, when it comes to Ryan and Jen, I love them together based on what I'm seeing on the show. And he took her kids in. Jennifer looks happy. She never looked better. And I think that's fine. But when it comes to the dig that Shannon made, I feel like this. Don't do the dig in the confessionals, do the dig in person. Because that's when, to
Right.
me, it's a cop-out move.
Right. And that really bothers me when any housewife does that. It's like you say so much on camera when you're alone with the producer and just the ring light and the producer and the green screen, but then when you're in, because here's the thing, Carlos, anything I will even tell you, and my friends all know this, anything I say, or if there's no gossiping with Alexis, if I say something to you, I'm going to be able to say it to that person's face. That's the way that I run my life, and that's the way I feel the housewife should. If you're going to get behind the safe screen, you should be doing it to the person's face. And I don't know why the other women don't call each other out and say, why you got so many balls behind the screen, but when it comes to me, you don't have, you won't talk to me in person about it. Cause that's what I would do. You know, I even did that in season 18. I'd be like, that was gnarly. Why didn't you tell me you felt that way to my face? Like, why are you
Yeah.
going to talk bad behind?
Yeah, no, we call those confessional gangsters. So that's exactly what it is when you hide behind the camera and you don't say it in this person's face. Which also leads me to this, and I want to get your thoughts on it. You are friends with Heather and Tamra. No one is better suited to answer this question than you. While Heather was having dinner and Emily was there, Emily said, "Look, Heather, Jen thinks you're scared of Tamra." My favorite part is when Heather responded, "Well, what did you say?" Which
Mhm.
I was like, "What a fucking comeback!"
Mic drop. Mic
Mike
drop.
Emily gagged and said, "I don't remember." Which to me, love you, Emily. That was a cop out move. And Heather to me won that moment. Heather said, "Look, during the lie detector test, when they asked me if I'm scared of Tamra, Heather said, look, it was around the moment where me and her, had that issue, but fundamentally, I am not scared of Tamra." You're friends with both of these ladies. Do you think Heather is scared of Tamra?
1,000,000% no. Heather's not scared of anyone, number one. Number two, but Heather is Switzerland. And I would tell Heather this to her face. Heather wants to play Switzerland. She wants to keep everybody as her friend. Um, Except when you cross a certain line. Like I think if you cross a line with her children, that girl's not gonna be Switzerland anymore. But I do feel for the most part on the show, Heather, you know I love you, and you can call me later. I don't care. I mean I do care. I mean I'll have a conversation with you, but I don't. She is not scared of Tamra. She just wants everyone to have a little bit more kumbaya and be friends, and find a way to move past. The conflict resolution is the basis of the show. That's what Heather
Mhm.
wants. That's what she strives for. And she wants everyone else to try to find a way. Like even in the restaurant when she's taking the picture and she's like, oh, okay, no, like that was last episode.
Yeah.
Like that. She just wants everybody to be friends and find a way to work through it.
And I don't think that's bad. Listen, the
I don't either.
conflict resolution is the basis of the show. And that's the reason why I appreciate the fact that, look, Tamara is on this apology tour. She's saying, I'm sorry. She is saying it. And look, I also, me being very honest, I also understand why some of the women feel like, okay, I'm a little bit,
Leery,
yeah,
leery.
leery, apprehensive about receiving it because will you do this again? That to me is fundamental. When it comes to Shannon, though, the reason why it doesn't make sense to me when it comes to Shannon is because last year after the reunion, when they did that scene where it was sort of like, and just like that, it was like the girls got together to have a ladies' luncheon, Sex and the City spinoff, where they're all like, oh, we love each other. Life is so great. We forgive each other, which to me was sort of like, we have to show the audience that we're real friends. I called bullshit on it then. And based on what, oh, girl, I mean, Do you want me
Okay.
to tell you the truth, how I felt?
Yeah. No, lie to me, Carlos. I mean,
Right.
listen, no, I want you to tell me the truth.
This is reality with the king, for heaven's sake. I thought that scene was a middle finger to you. And I said that on
Oh,
my podcast last year. I
oh.
thought,
Do you think for one moment that Tamra did not get a phone call right effing away? Okay. And Heather. And both of them were then kissing my ass. I mean, sorry, I'm not cussing. Anyways, they were both, and like, oh no, but this is what happened. This is how it happened. I took it all with a grain of salt. But here's the one thing I do know is that my friendships with them are deep enough, and I know that I love them both so much, and they do love me deep down, and they will defend me, and they will stick up for me when it really comes, push comes to shove, that I forgave and moved on. And other people were like, how can you forgive them? How are you moving on from this? And I'm like, well, to be honest, it's like, okay, so if your kid lies to you, are you just going to kick them out and say, forget you, you lied and you're a horrible human? Or are you going to know they need a little correction? It's gonna be okay. Let's coddle them a little bit, So it's like I moved on. We had deep, hard conversations with tears and anger, and
mm,
then we moved past it. And here we are, grown women who are 48 and 50-ish that moved on because that's what you do. You forgive and you move on in life. Nobody's perfect, Carlos.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I love that. I love
It was
that.
a
And
big middle finger to me. It was. You are 1,000,000% right. That's what the show was doing. Basically, the show was saying, Alexis, we can't have a space for you anymore because you were so hated due to lies and not truth being shown for poor America to have witnessed. So that, yeah, it was an FU to me. And that's okay. I've got thick skin, honey. After 15 years on TV, I've got thick skin. You can tell me anything and I'll be like, you're right.
yeah,
Or you're
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought it was. And listen, and I love the fact that you, Tamara, Heather were able to have the conversation. And I also think too, in their defense, the show had to do a reset. And I think, look, there's one thing Tamara said recently in an interview is she's a different person on the show than she is in real life. And what that means based on her definition, and I understood what she meant by that is when the cameras are on, you sort of become this amplified version of yourself, right? It's some people do that, a lot of people don't, but she's one of the ones who admitted that, look, that's what I do. So when I saw that scene, I for one never took that personally for you when it came to Tamara Heather. I just thought they had to do something to bring the show back to a reset. But I thought it was definitely
Well, first of
um
all, Heather told information that was not hers to share. That is where I got the most mad at Heather. She was
yeah,
not to share that with Shannon or the production team or anyone else. That was me telling her something in confidence. That was something that was very hurtful and something that should never have been talked about. As you noticed, I didn't do it. However,
yeah,
when I feel like it's not that you're a different person on camera, because like for me last season didn't look like me, but that's because so much was left out. It was snippets of things that didn't show. If you would have played 2 minutes, that snippet wouldn't have looked like that. It would have been a 2 minute. You would have seen more to the, you know what I'm trying to say? Wink, wink.
yeah.
So if
Mm-hmm.
for the, I don't know. I think Tamra is herself on camera and off camera. I really do. And I think that the women have to do a job. And that's where I sat back and I go, okay, hold on, Alexis. Are these your TV friends or are they your real friends? And did they have a TV moment where they had to be a TV friend? Yes, they had a TV moment where they had to be a TV friend. But when I go back to my playbook of my years and years with them, and times they have been here for me, and times that we have had true friendship, I go, they had a TV moment, but they are my true friend. Can't say that
Mm,
about others. There are others that are just TV friends, and that's okay. You got to do a job. Reality is not for everyone, and it is hard. It's a hard job. So I just forgave and moved on, and that's what Shannon needs to do right now. But she's bitter, and I think she's unhappy in her life, and she can't move past it to go, okay, let's put on a TV hat and move on so that the show can move forward. But unfortunately, grudges equal getting fired. So you
yeah.
got to be careful.
You do. And I think, listen, I'm gonna say this. I think Shannon needs to set out next season, whether that's a friend role. She's not fun and she's not having fun. And I do think a break can do the body good, you know. And I think for me personally, I'm a fan of the show. I think Shannon needs a break. Like, I think take a season off, enjoy life, maybe come back refreshed. Shannon hasn't been good on the show in years. And I think the reason why last year a lot of people felt sorry for Shannon was because obviously Tamra was calling her those names. She had to deal with you and John and all those things, and it made people whatever. But I think this season, everybody, even the Shannon stands, which is why you can never, ever, 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 ever believe the hype. Just don't believe the hype.
Yeah.
People love you
Yeah.
today and hate you tomorrow. I think Shannon needs to sit out next season. I don't care to see it. So one thing I want to talk about too in that episode was the fact that, look, she's like, you called me these names, Tamra. You called me a drunk. Tamra said, look, I apologize. What more do you want from me? And look, you want to feel that way, fine. And this is why Tamra's good for the show, y'all. Tamra said, look, Gina is even concerned about your drinking.
And then it goes to be continued. That's why I said next season's gonna, or next I'm so sorry, not next season. Next episode's gonna be good because I love the to be continued.
I do too.
The cliffhanger, you're like this. You're like, no, wait, you're done. No, and you want to just press fast forward to the next one.
Honey, it was so good because I'm like, wait, what's going on? And you could tell Gina was like, you fucking bitch, Tamra. And like,
Gina was so mad at that moment. But here's the thing. Don't put anything past Tamra, which is why the show is so successful. She's the longest running housewife. Thank you very much, because she knows how to carry the show forward and also to call things out. Tamra knows so much about me. I mean, I'm talking how many hemorrhoids I have. Okay. She knows everything. And she doesn't go to certain places on television. Okay. She does do what she knows will take the show far enough, but she keeps some things to herself. Okay. So that's what I want America to know, because yes, maybe she can take the show forward. However, she doesn't throw under the bus too low. Like Shannon was like, oh, you go so low. I'm like, Shannon, you go low all the time. Let's please. I was wishing at that moment that Bravo would have gone back and shown all of the times Shannon's gone low below the belt that are horrible. And it's like, these women, I roll my eyes. It's funny. Okay.
No, it was so good. It was so shocking because I'm like, what is happening? And the fact that Gina was like, well, I am concerned about you. And it's like, no. Tamra said you're concerned about her drinking, not her as a person.
Yeah.
So I felt like, okay, Gina, we're going to get into some things because I'm curious as to what is going on between that. But look, this is why I strongly believe this, and I don't care who disagrees with me. When Tamra was fired from the show, I strongly believe all of those women felt like, whew, we can breathe, because there's not someone on this show that's going to keep us honest and push us. And that to me is what Tamra is good at. And that's why.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, that's why she's good at her job. What are your thoughts when it comes to the state of this show, Alexis? What's been happening right now is this. Katie Janela was not in this episode at all. And based on some internal knowledge that I have, you may not see her ever again. They haven't made that's what I'm not sure. That's the word on the street, that you may not see Katie Janela again. If you do, maybe one episode or two. But it's a lot of what people are saying is the fact that the ladies did not want to film with Katie. This episode was a non-Katie episode. The state of the show is going through this very interesting phase because on one end, Alexis, is a huge hit. It constantly rates number 2 of the top TV shows on Peacock.
Wow.
I'm enjoying this season, but the audience feels like, what is this show without Katie, and if there needs to be a recast? So not to sort of ask about a recap because it's too soon for that, and we'll you and I will do that after the reunion. But as of right now, let me ask you this first: do you feel Gretchen's comeback has been great or a huge letdown?
Ugh. This is the problem, Carlos, is that I don't know how to sometimes hold my tongue. Okay. It's not a good time to ask me about Gretchen after what just came out. I'm not, I don't think I have one positive thing to say about her as a human being at all at the moment. So
What came out?
let's not talk. Oh, well, it just came across my phone. Is it only on mine? Because I don't even get on Instagram. How she compared, and I didn't even screenshot it. And I should have screenshot it because I don't even remember how to get back to it. It was on some Bravo blog site that she agreed that LGBTQ and trans are the same as pedophiles, or in some context like that. No, I was livid. I couldn't even help myself. I went back and texted to that. I've got to find it. I commented to this site and I go, oh my gosh, are you serious? Is this real? I am effing livid. I didn't say effing because my children can read that. I'm trying not to, I promise them I'm stopping cussing. I really have been good lately. Anyway, I said I am livid because I have an LGBTQ child. And so I don't know. You can't even bring her name up to me right now without me just being really pissed off. So yeah, it takes it to another level. Like my heart right now is
I'm
racing. You can
sorry.
hear it in my voice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I will die for my kid. So you will shut the F up. Period.
So,
So anyway, let's
no, no,
move on.
no. Okay. So I do want to say this because I didn't see that, but the good thing about us doing this live is the fact that we are able to definitely fact check some things and corroborate some stuff. So I'm going to say alleged because I'm going to say something after that. So allegedly, Gretchen Rossi liked a post where the post said, when you open the door to homosexuality, you open the door to pedophilia.
Thank
You'll
you.
never, you'll never
That's what I
win.
saw.
You'll never win by normalizing perversion. Alexis, Gretchen Rossi alleged that those screenshots were fake and that she is actually a supporter of the LGBTQ plus community. Um,
Of course she has to backpedal. Of course she has to do
so
that now.
this is what she told the Sun. Okay, Alexis and Raindrops. Again, this is live and I'm reading to you live. Gretchen told the Sun allegedly, it's my understanding that there is a small group of housewife fan sites and blogs passing a story around that I allegedly liked highly offensive posts. This is false. Those are manipulated screenshots meant to cause harm to my reputation and bring attention to themselves. I firmly stand against any form of hatred and bigotry and have always fully supported the LGBTQ plus community. That's her statement.
Of course. That's a great statement. Good job.
You don't buy it one bit.
I don't buy it. Your name doesn't just show up as a liked under somebody's post if you don't do it. Because I did comment on that. I don't think I liked the post because I was so distraught by it, but I did make a comment. How does that get there? How did it just happen then? How is it fake? How is it fake, Carlos? But anyway, let's move on to the
Yeah.
show because this is a whole
Okay.
nother. Maybe we need to make another topic, another show just
No.
for this. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It's my
Yeah.
kid we're talking about. So
No, and it's me. I'm an openly gay man, so I
there we
I
go.
I I get you for sure. And again, based on what people are saying, allegedly they're saying this happened a few years ago, which is why people think it is true. They're saying that this allegedly is not a recent post, that this happened years ago, which is why people believe this is true. Gretchen
Of
has
course, because now
denied
she's
it.
in the limelight, and now she got caught for it. So what she got to do? You got to try to do damage control. This is all damage control. I don't buy it for 1 second, and and it's disgusting.
Yes,
Disgusting.
I
So I can't
I
really give you if
agree.
I feel she's good for the show or not. I don't know how anyone is good for a show that has that kind of hate in their heart or that kind of no. I don't think anyone's good for the show like that.
Okay.
I do think she brings, I love a lot of her fake Chanel and I like her some of her the way that she carries herself with her costume-ish thing. I think it's kind of fun. I do turn on the show every time and go, okay, what's she going to be wearing today? So it's kind of fun. And I do think she could bring a lot to the show um, as a full-time castmate. I think that she could. It's just, um, I don't know how, if this even is true or not. I don't know where it's going to go from here, but I don't know how anyone could want someone employed under them with that kind of, I mean, look at Heather. She's got 4 LGBTQ children, or 3 of them, 3 of the 4. Like, so I don't know. I don't know where it can go from here, Carlos.
I have a feeling it's going to come up at the reunion, and I cannot wait to see how, to your point, the ladies talk about this. This would be very, very interesting. This was a Katie less episode. Katie has emerged as somebody the fans want to stay on the show. You're not on social media as much, and I love that for you, but I want to read you one more thing before I let you go. The fans have done a poll of who they want back for next season, which would be the celebration of season 20 of the Real Housewives of Orange County. Alexis Bellino, they want Vicki Gunvalson.
Okay. She's funny and good.
This is who they want to make a comeback. Vicki, Joe, and Alexis Bellino.
Oh, stop. No.
Listen.
Hold on. They don't want Katie. They don't want Katie because
No. Meeting. No. Okay, so let me say everybody. So to your okay, I'll say who they want back. Okay. This is a poll that was ran on Twitter by a Bravo handle, not Bravo TV verified, but another Bravo fan handle about who they would like to see back on season 20. The names included Tamra Judge, Heather Dubrow,
what?
I'm just here to report the news. It was Tamra, Heather, Katie, Vicki, Joe, Alexis, and they also said they would like to see Gina. Who was omitted from that list was Shannon and Emily.
Wow. I mean, honestly, Carlos, I'm shocked because I'm not on Twitter at all, even though I should be. But I'm not on Instagram that much, other than, like I told you, to do some of my things and find out weird crap like I did about Gretchen. But anyway, which I didn't even, it popped up. I was not searching. I don't search for things on my phone. Anyway, that is very shocking to me.
Why is it shocking to you?
Well, I mean, I'm not shocked about Vicki because Vicki is a freaking hoot. I mean,
yes.
Her and I've been at it. I went at her in the media because she attacked my husband in a few weeks, or I'm not okay. Don't. In a couple days, a couple months, whatever. I'm getting married anyway. She attacked him on the internet and like in interviews. So I had some harsh words for her because don't come after my family, people. Just do not. You can do whatever else you want. Don't come after my family or my fur babies. And anyway, but when like I said, I tried to be unbiased doing this podcast. She's freaking funny, Carlos, and she's good on TV. Don't you think?
Oh, Vicki is one of the greatest housewives.
Some people are sick of her and wanted her gone, but I think she's hysterical.
I'll say this, and again, I don't care about the popular opinion. I've never been that guy. I will say this: I have been a fan of OC since season 2. I didn't watch season 1, and I'm going to be honest. I became a fan of the show when Tamra joined because she brought this level of like comedy and
honesty.
Honesty.
Honest on a TV show.
So I started watching season 2. Vicki is definitely the OG of the OC. I am one of the rare people possibly who enjoyed her last season when she stormed out of like the reunion. And I like what a housewife said, this is my show, because to me, I like a healthy ego. So I wasn't mad about it. I did think this. I did think maybe give Vicki a pause, give her a season off so she could come back and miss it. Carlos King, 100% support Vicki Gunvalson coming back to the show season 20. I would love to see it. I would love to see Joe make an appearance. Joe has said that her and Gretchen got into an argument that they edited out allegedly. I would love
I
to see.
know. I know the tea behind that, Carlos, because I got the phone call right after that from JoJo, and she's like, "You're not going to believe what just happened on this when I was filming," and then
Well, what
it was
happened,
all
Alexis?
cut out. Well, okay, I can't tell all. I'm not going to do
Okay,
that because I
okay.
did not get Joe's a permission, and I try not to. Like, I might have already lost Tamra as a friend from stuff I just disclosed. I cannot lose two friends in one podcast. Okay, I will lose one friend at a time, Carlos. Okay, well, here's the other part to that. I can't even remember exactly what it was, but they like to the T of exactly what the argument was. But Gretchen and her were going at it, like literally, like at it. And then, when you're done filming, it is kind of weird when you're filming a show, because it's like you do that, and then it's like, okay, but we're doing a job, so okay, then we hug and go out. So what made Joe so mad is that they edited out the whole argument, because Joe's point would have been proven during this argument. That now I can't I'm a bad friend, I
Okay.
can't remember exactly what it was. But then they hug it out at the end, and Joe was just, she calls me and she was so ticked off. She's like, and then I hugged her, and it's like she's not even nice, and like we went at it, and it's gonna air, or now I'm gonna look, it looks, we're gonna be yelling at each other, and then it didn't air, and it only shows them hugging. So that's just one example of editing on a national television show that's a reality show. And one 25th of what happened to me last season, where only saw the certain things and everything else is cut on the chopping room floor. So I know Joe was ticked about that. She wanted that shown because it did. I don't remember. I wish I'm biting my tongue right now because I'm mad at myself because I can't think of what exactly the argument was about. But she almost was more mad that it didn't air than when she called me and she was mad that it had just happened. She was mad that it didn't air because it would have shown, I guess, more, about their argument, and some truth would have
Yeah.
been shown about Joe.
So, raindrops, to catch y'all up to speed, and we're going to move on. Joe was an original cast member of the Real Housewives of Orange County who dated Slade.
Season
Okay.
one. Season one.
Season one, baby. Season one. Okay. The feud between Joe and Gretchen arose from their shared connection to Slade because, as y'all know, Gretchen is married to Slade. Okay.
Excuse me. Back up. They are not married, or did I?
They're not married.
They are boyfriend and girlfriend. And why do they have hubby and wifey hanging in their house? You are not married, people. You did not go before God and say your vows. You are boyfriend or fiancéed. But anyways, they are not married. But now I'm kind of remembering it. Joe was friends with Gretchen when Gretchen started dating Slade. That was part of the feud of why Gretchen and Joe are not close anymore, and then Joe was, even because she's married now to a very good guy,
Mm-hmm.
Taryn Gray. She's Joe Gray now. But anyways, she is married. And she was very hurt by the fact that her friend would date a guy that she was engaged to, because Slade and Joe were engaged when they first started the show, or maybe they got engaged on the show. I don't remember the details on that. Lizzie would have to
Yeah.
handle that. But yeah,
No,
so
that's
that's part
okay.
of the beef. That's part of the beef. But Joe was willing to move on, especially during this season when she was coming on as, like, cameo appearances. She was ready to move on. She's like, look, we're both older now. She's got a kid. I'm married. Who cares? But something happened with that. I'll get back to you. If you want to, I'll call Joe when we get done, and I'll find out for next Friday, and we can do another little recap on this.
And guess what we call that? A to be continued.
Hey, we've got the cliffhangers now. I will get back to you on exactly what the fight was that was cut out and not shown on this episode. Okay.
Okay. So I will say this, raindrops, don't forget that Slade had sex with Lori between Joe and Gretchen.
Uh-huh. Remember, because I went to BravoCon. This is funny. Good. This is good gossip. I went to BravoCon, and so I'm on stage getting ready to present Vicki Gumbelson the award they flew us out for BravoCon. They flew Joe, Lori, me, and Gretchen out for BravoCon to present this award to Vicki for the Original Housewife Award. And the room is full, okay? And we're on stage. And guess what I do? Because I'm such an idiot. I went off script and I said, because they said, what do you want to say? And then there's a prompter and we're reading the prompt, okay? But Alexis Folino just does some Alexis Bellino stuff sometimes, okay? And so it's now my cue, and I go, well, as the only housewife standing up here that hasn't slept with Slade Smiley, and everybody died because I was the only one standing up on stage that hadn't even like, ew, But anyway. Andy Cohen lost his marbles. He gets on the mic and he goes, and they cut some of this out to show it when they're airing everything, but he was like, she did go off script, everyone. She was off script. And then they're like, Alexis, get back on, get back on. So I got a wrist slap, but then I also did get a lot of calls from production being like, that was epic, good job. And I'm just like, I just could not say it. It's just funny. It's like, if we can't laugh at ourselves, I'm getting married for the third time, people. Come on. 3 times a charm. If you can't laugh at yourself, then what do you have in life? Like, just.
My thing is this. It's the reason why I just love you so much. And it makes me happy when I read the comments and everybody's like, Carlos, it was not on my bingo card that I would be enjoying Alexis so much. And they all said, Alexis, we want to see this Alexis on the show. And that's why you don't have to say anything. It's my job. That's why I'm advocating for that all-star list that the Bravo fans have polled. Because look, you're funny. I know. But look, you're hilarious, and I think that's what should happen. But I will say this: to close out the Joe thing, Joe De La Rosa did respond to Gretchen, and because Gretchen was on a podcast and said something, and I just want to read to you all what she said. Okay, because this is what happened while talking in a car as she was on her way to celebrate Alexis getting married to John.
Yeah.
So
I watched this TikTok or Instagram, whatever it was. I forget which platform it was on, but everyone should tune in and watch it because Joe does not hold back. So go, Carlos, go.
No, it was good because Joe was responding to an after show where Gretchen and Jennifer was talking about her. She says, I was, first of all, a little bit surprised because it starts with Jen asking, who's Joe? And that's wild to me. I literally met Jen at the season finale last year. We thought she was the sweetest, nicest person. I used to work for Ryan. I got her number. I said, it was so nice to meet you. And then I was trying to get together with her for lunch because I had some things I wanted to tell her. So she said it was wild that she said that despite texting with her. And then Gretchen of it all, Joe said, insisting that they've had a long and messy journey. We started out years ago as friends, even though she claims we were not friends. She then detailed how she apologized to Gretchen at BravoCon a few years back. And at that time, she truly meant it. And then fast forward to this season, Joe said, Tamra brings me to Heather's party. Days before we go to her birthday, I get a podcast sent to me, and it's Gretchen talking about how desperate I am trying to get back on the show. To me, that does not signify somebody who is wanting to start over. When she talked about the unaired scene between them, she did say that she and I are not good. And there was an entire argument that happened at Heather's party that never got shown. The only thing you saw is her having, giving me a hug. There's actually more to that story. I thought it was weird that she came up to me after I just got a podcast sent to me where she's literally, Alexis, trashing my name a couple of days before I shot the episode with Tamra. An entire blowout happened. The argument got so heated, the argument got so heated that Joe said Slade jumped in at one point.
Yes.
And Joe told him that Gretchen doesn't need a mouthpiece and she did not need him to speak for her. Joe said it got ugly and it got messy, girlfriend.
So boys and girls, everybody, I will get the juice. I was going to say gossip and juice, and it came out goose. Okay, gossip and juice. I'm going to get the juice, and I am going to bring it next week. I know Joe will give me the okay because Joe wants her voice heard too, but I forget the details because there were a couple, just so you know, there were a couple times Joe filmed that things didn't get shown, that got chopped out. So I don't remember the details of that one specific, but I will get the dirt and I will bring it to you, Carlos King.
Raindrops, we call
Week.
that a to be continued. Alexis Bellino, thank you so much. Have a great weekend, my sister. And you'll be back next week with all the tea from Joe.
See you next week.
See you next week. Thank you, Raindrops.
Bye.